Okay, so this is where we stopped last time. Be careful with present participle. Just as a quick recap, what did we do yesterday? We said yesterday the sentence must have a subject and a verb, and we said it must be a noun phrase and the verb must be a verb phrase. Correct? We said you must have only one subject and one verb in the clause or in the sentence. And we also talked about appositives. We said sometimes you have appositives, like when we say, for example, do. When we say, for example, the teacher, Ali, is the best, for example. So Ali here is an appositive, okay? And the teacher is the subject, and is the verb, and so on. Or we can start with Ali, comma, the teacher is I don't know what, so it's more or less the same. So don't let appositives distract you. Today we go on to talk about this. We are talking today about present participles and past participles, and we don't want them to distract us. When we say present participles, we mean verbs with ing. Okay. So, for example, it's more or less means gerund. So both terms are the same. A gerund is a present participle. Clear? For example, this is a complete sentence. The man is talking to his friend. The man is the subject, and is talking is the verb, or the verb phrase. Okay. However, there is something called reduction. It's not mentioned here in the book, but this is where it is relevant to mention. I will explain the reduction in future sessions with detail, but we can give a quick hint here about it. When you say, for example, the man is my father, for example, this is a correct sentence. The man is the subject and is the verb. Okay, and we have here a complete sentence. We can say the man who, example, drives to work is my father. It's more or less the same. The man is the subject, and who drives to work is a relative clause, and is the verb. Still, it is the same. We can reduce this clause, this relative clause. It's called the relative clause. We can reduce this relative clause. We make something called reduction. What is reduction? When you omit, when you delete who and drives, and you put driving instead. So it becomes the man driving is my father. So what did I do here? What did I do here? I deleted the relative pronoun who, and I deleted the verb because I cannot have two verbs in the sentence. This is the verb and this is the subject. I cannot have two verbs. So instead, I put a present participle or a gerund, which functions here as an adjective. This is called reduction because you reduced the big structure. Who drives to work? This big structure. You reduced this big structure into a smaller one, which is driving. You got it? And still the sentence is the same. You have the subject, the man, you have the verb, is. Okay? So this is again called what? Reduction. Okay? So here what Deborah Phillips wants to say is be careful of present participles in this case. Because you can say, for example, the man, which is the subject, talking to his friend. Now, this is all a relative clause. I'm sorry, a reduced relative clause has a beard. This is a verb. This is the verb. So this sentence, what was it originally? It was originally the man who is talking, or the man who talks has a beard. And we deleted who, we deleted is, we deleted talking, and we only got, instead of all this, a present participle, which is talking. Is it clear to everyone? Is this concept clear? Do you have a problem? Does anyone want to ask a question?
I just joined to you. Can you please repeat?
Sorry, I will not. Okay, I repeat this time, but later on I cannot do this because, as I said, time is very limited, time is very pressed, and and later on, if you missed something, you can get back to the video and watch it. But I will do it this time. I'll do it this time. So
I
we
just
have here.
have problem with internet connection. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. We have here. Is it Mahmoud?
Ahmed.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. So we said every sentence must have a subject and a verb. So in this case, the man is talking to his friend. This is a complete sentence, okay? A subject and a verb, okay? This is the subject and this is the verb. But we can have sometimes something called present participle, and the present participle is the gerund. It means the verb with ing. This is what the present participle is. The verb with ing, okay? It's the gerund, okay? And it functions as an adjective. So in this sentence, for example, the man talking to his friend, this is the gerund, or the present participle, has a beard. This is the verb, and this is the subject. So nothing has changed. It's basically, the sentence is the man who is talking to his friend has a beard. But we reduced this structure. We're talking about reduction. We said reduction means when you omit the relative pronoun and the verb, and instead of the verb, you only insert a gerund. So instead of the man who drives to work is my father, it's the man driving is my father. The man driving to work is my father. So here you delete, you omit the relative pronoun and the verb, and instead of them, you put present participle or a gerund, okay? And mind you, this is not the verb. So this is where the mistake comes from. So many people think this is the verb, but this is not the verb. The verb is, here is has a beard, okay? This is only an adjective. It's a reduced relative clause. Okay? So look at this example. The child, so we have here a subject. It's basically the subject. Playing in the yard is my son. So this is the verb. We have here the subject and we have the verb. So we have here playing in the yard. This must be a reduced relative clause, correct? So what do we need in this space? Nothing. We need nothing. We cannot say, for example, the child is playing in the yard is my son, because right then we would have two verbs and we cannot have two verbs. We cannot say the child he is playing, because it would be two subjects. We can say the child was playing is my son, because this is again two verbs. But we can say the child now playing, because now is not a subject, it's not a verb, it's actually nothing, just to denote time. So here we can.
The difference.
We can have only now. Again?
What's the difference if I said who?
Who playing? Very good question. This is a very good question. Why can't I say the child who playing? And again, we will talk about reduction. I will give you a very quick answer, but we'll talk about reduction in detail in this course later on. But I'll give you a very quick answer. The child who playing is my son. I can't do this. Why? Because you cannot have, after who you must have a verb. After who you must have a verb. Okay? So playing, is it a verb? No, it's not a verb. It's a gerund. It's a present participle. It's not a verb. In order to have a verb, you can say the child who is playing. Now this is the verb of who, because who is a relative pronoun and it's a subject. Okay, what's who? Who is a relative what? A relative what? Relative what?
Pronoun.
Pronoun. يعني ايه pronoun? المرة اللي فاتت we said pronoun last time. We said pronoun means instead of. We said pro means instead of. Like subject pronouns, correct? Instead of a noun. So this is a subject. Who is a subject? And if it's a subject, it needs a verb. Okay? The verb is playing. You cannot say who playing. And again, we will talk about reduction in detail when it comes. Okay? Maybe in 3-4 sessions. Is it clear now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Any more questions? Look at these two
Many
examples.
thanks. Yes, let's go for example.
The boy is standing in the corner. This is a correct sentence. Or the boy standing in the corner, Melu, was naughty. So you cannot say the boy standing in the corner and you just finish the sentence right here, because this is not a complete sentence. You cannot say the boy is standing in the, and I always see this error in IELTS writing. I always see errors like this. For example, although, or you can say, the president working hard to solve this problem, for example. So the president is the subject. Where is the verb? Working is no verb. Working is a present participle. Now, this sentence doesn't have a verb. It's either you say the president is working, and right here you have a complete sentence, or you say the president working hard to solve this problem is, for example, anything happy. So here we have the verb. But you cannot say the president working hard to solve this problem and that's it. You know what? Now we understand why.
Okay, may I add something? Okay, so I think that if we added comma after the president and we added comma at the end of the other sentence, we can add is referring to the president. So we can fix this sentence by just putting comma. Two commas.
Yes, we cannot put commas here between the
No,
president.
after the president.
Before working and before is, correct? That's what you mean, correct?
Yeah. That means that we will just
no, we
change it
cannot do
to a
this.
positive.
No, we can't do this. We cannot add commas here because this is not an appositive and this is not a relative clause. We add commas in some certain cases in grammar. We do not add commas on our own. And in this case, it's neither an appositive nor a relative clause. And we cannot add a comma here. If it's a relative clause, we can add comma. The president who is working hard to solve this problem is happy. We can add a comma here. And I will write it to you. If it's a relative clause, again, the president, comma, who is working hard, comma, is happy. Now this, we have to put two commas here because this is a definitive relative clause, and we will talk about it again in the course. We'll talk about it later on when we get to talk about relative clauses. But here, this is not a relative clause. This is a reduced structure. This is called reduction. And in reduction, we do not add commas.
So do you mean that who made it as a positive? Only
No. Who is not an appositive. Who is a relative clause. And we will talk about relative clauses in the future, in the near future.
Okay.
I'll give you exactly 1 minute to solve these 10 questions. Just decide if they're correct or not correct. Okay, that's it. The companies offering the lowest prices will have, we have here a perfect example of a relative clause. I'm sorry, of a present participle. And the later one, those travelers are, so we have here a subject and a verb, completing their trips, should. Also, we have here two verbs, okay? The artisans were demonstrating various, so we have here a subject, and where we have a verb, various handicrafts at booth throughout the fair. Do you think this is correct or incorrect? Hello?
Correct.
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 Correct. Okay, we have here a subject, the fraternities, and the verb are fraternities يعني أخويات يعني are the verb giving the wildest parties attracts. We have here another verb, correct? So
Correct.
this is incorrect because we have two verbs. The first team, subject, winning 4 games, meaning the first team that wins, which wins 4 games, is awarded. So this is the verb. So this sentence is, what do you think?
Correct.
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 Correct. Very good. Excellent. So the speaker was trying to make his point. Was often. What do you think? The speaker is the subject.
Yes.
Was is the verb. And was is another verb. Please mute yourselves unless you would like to talk. Or make yourself in a quiet place, please. So we have here 2 verbs. So this is incorrect. The fruits, subject, were verb, rotting because of the moisture in the crates, carrying them to the market. What do you think?
Incorrect.
Why incorrect? We have here the subject and were the verb. Because of the moisture in the crates carrying, it means which carry. But we omitted which and we omitted carry and it became carrying them to the market. So this is correct. Clear?
Yes.
Okay, any students desiring official transcript, this is subject, any student subject desiring official transcript, it's a reduced relative clause, should complete. This is a verb, the appropriate form. What do you think?
Correct.
Correct. The advertisements or the advertisements, both are correct, both pronunciations. Subject, were announcing, verb, the half-day sale received. What do you think? What do you think? Hello?
Incorrect.
Incorrect, because we have 2 verbs here. Were announcing, that's the verb, and received a lot of attention. This is another verb, correct? How can we fix it? Can somebody say how we can fix this sentence? How can we make this sentence correct? Can somebody tell me how we can make this sentence correct?
The advertisements announced.
Great, excellent, excellent, very good, very good. The advertisements announcing they have sale received. So this is, now we make announcing as an adjective. Excellent. The spices flavoring the meal were quite distinctive. The spices, the subject, flavoring the meal, this is an adjective or a present participle, were quite distinctive. This is what? Verb. So this sentence is correct. Excellent. Now we have here a very similar skill, Be careful of past participles. It's pretty much the same, but when it comes to, instead of present participle, it's past participle. Past participle is the third conjugation. Like, for example, listen, listened. Like eat, ate, eaten. Drink, drank, drunk. Okay? Drive, drove, driven. Now, this is the past participle. يبقى احنا عندنا, we have present participle, which is the ing, and past participle, which is the third conjugation. Okay? التصريف الثالث in Arabic. The family has purchased a television. This is a complete sentence. This is a correct sentence. The poem was written by Paul. This is also a correct sentence. And mind you, this sentence is active. Okay? Has purchased. It's present perfect. And this sentence is passive. Was written. Okay? So this sentence is passive. How do we know? How do we know? Because passive passive when you find the verb be. The verb be. And how, this is the rule of thumb. Passive. يعني إيه passive? What is passive? When you find the verb be. يعني إيه be? Is, are, am, was, were, be, been. These are the forms of be. When you find be followed by past participle, this is a passive. Simple. Very simple. Okay? Like, for example, when you say the car is driven. Okay? When you say the keys are found. I am seen. She was beaten. We were deceived. Okay? I will be, for example, taught. Somebody will teach me. She has been, for example, led. Okay, so when you find any of the forms of the verb be, yes, and being, of course, yes, and being, thank you very much, and being and as being, thank you very much for reminding me. Being, we are being instructed to stay at home, unfortunately. Okay, so being again. So these are all the forms of be. When you find the verb be, what I want to say, when you find the verb be after followed by, past participle, this is passive. And when you find has or have or had followed by past participle, this is present perfect or past perfect. Okay. So the television purchased yesterday was expensive. We have here television, which is the subject. Purchased, again, it's more or less the same rule. The TV, which was purchased, was expensive. This is the sentence. The TV is, and was is the verb, and all this is what? What's this? Can somebody tell me what's this?
Relative clause.
Relative clause. Thank you very much. This is a relative clause, and we can reduce this relative clause. We can make reduction. How can we reduce this relative clause? We have to delete which, delete was, and only keep what? The past participle. So we say the TV purchased was expensive. Got it? Is it clear?
Yes.
Problem? Does somebody have a problem? Somebody has a problem? Okay, good. The poem, again, the poem, subject, written, it's again an adjective, by Paul, appeared. This is the verb. Magazine. So here again we have the subject and the verb, and in the middle we have a relative clause, the poem, which was written. This is how it was basically, which was written, but we reduced this sentence. We removed which, we removed was, we omitted both of them, and we only kept written. So it becomes the poem written by Paul appeared in the magazine. Clear? Any questions before we move on? Any questions? Please mute yourselves and just ask if you have a question. Okay, good. Very good. Okay, the packages mailed, so we have here a subject. Apparently this is a subject. Mailed at the office will arrive. So this is the verb. Correct? So what do we need here in the middle? We need a relative clause or a reduced relative clause. The packages have mailed will arrive. Can we say this?
Where?
No. Were mailed will arrive. How many verbs do we have here? Were mailed will arrive. How many verbs? 2 verbs, correct?
2 verbs, yeah.
2 verbs. So we cannot say were mailed. The packages them mailed it doesn't have any meaning. The packages just mailed at the office will arrive. Here we have the packages just mailed will arrive. We have the subject and the verb, and in the middle we have a reduced relative clause. Or we can make it the packages which were mailed will arrive. This is also another good option. It works. The packages which were mailed will arrive, or the packages just mailed will arrive. Questions? Questions? Is it clear?
No. Yeah, it's got it.
Okay, I will write the other option. The packages. I'll just need to make sure that just below. The packages which were mailed will arrive. Okay, so here we have the subject, the packages, and the verb will arrive. Okay, and we have a relative clause which is Malak. I'm sorry. Okay, the relative clause which were mailed, and it can be reduced into mailed. Clear?
Yes, clear.
She painted the picture. This is the correct sentence. She has painted the picture. Again, this is a correct sentence. The picture painted is now in a museum. So we have here the subject and the verb. And in the middle, we have, again, a reduced relative clause. Now, I want you to look at these sentences and try to decide if they're correct or incorrect before we get into the big activity of today. I think there are, good, comprehensive questions later on. 1 minute, exactly 1 minute. Okay, let's look at the sentences. The chapters were taught by the professor this morning will be. What do you think?
Incorrect.
Incorrect. Why? We have here two verbs. How can we make it correct?
Remove where.
Remove were. Thank you very much. Who is it? Ahmed?
Yes.
Very good. Thank you very much. Now, next one.
Thank
The loaves of bread were baked in a brick oven at a low temperature for many hours. What do you think?
Correct.
Correct.
Correct. Thank you very much. The ports were reached by the sailor were under. What do you think?
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
How can we make it correct?
Remove where?
Remove were. Thank you. Now we all got it. I'm proud of you. Good, good. Those suspected in the string of robberies were arrested. What do you think?
Correct.
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 Correct. Okay. Those suspected. Let me ask you a question. How can we make it a full relative clause? Those who
Or.
are suspected or were
Where?
suspected. Were suspected actually is better. Those who were suspected were arrested. Excellent. Excellent. The pizza is served in the restaurant is the tastiest.
Incorrect.
How can I make it correct?
Remove is.
Remove is. Amazing. The courses are listed on the second page of the brochure have several prerequisites.
Incorrect.
How can I make it correct?
Remove or.
Excellent. All the tenants were invited to Independence Day barbecue. The tenants اللي هم السكان اللي في العمارة were invited to the Independence Day at the department مش عارف ايه.
Correct.
Correct. Any bills paid by the first of the month will be accredited. What do you think? Accredited, I'm sorry.
Correct.
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 Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, now we have questions 1 to 5. Now, these questions cover skills 1 to 5. I want you to take 1 minute to answer them all, and then we have the cherry on the cake. These questions are the prettiest. Okay. Now, I want you to look at these questions before we move on to the next one. 1 minute. Okay. For 3 weeks at the beginning of the semester, students with fewer than maximum number of units can add additional courses. What do you think?
Correct.
Incorrect.
Why incorrect? What's wrong with this sentence? Hello?
I think that this is correct.
Yeah,
I think it's correct. Mark.
it's correct because we have here a prepositional clause, and then another prepositional clause, or a third prepositional clause, and a fourth prepositional clause. We have too many prepositional clauses, and then we have the subject, which is the maximum number of units, and then the verb can add. Correct. صح. يعني for 3 weeks, this is a prepositional clause. At the beginning of the semester, this is another prepositional clause. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Students is the subject. I'm sorry. Students is the subject. I'm sorry. Students is the subject. With fewer than the maximum number of units, this is a third prepositional phrase. Can add. This is the verb. So this is correct. On her lunch hour, went. What do you think?
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
How can we make it correct?
She went.
She went. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much. The fir trees were grown for the holiday season, were harvested in November.
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
How can we make it correct?
Incorrect. Remove where?
Remove were. The fir trees grown for the holiday season were harvested in November. In the grove of the overripe oranges were failing. What do you think?
Correct.
Correct.
Correct. So where is the subject? In the grove of the overripe oranges, this is...
The overripe oranges.
No.
I think that's incorrect.
In the grove... Oh, wait. Yes. I'm sorry. In the grove, this is a prepositional clause. I'm sorry, prepositional phrase. The overripe oranges, this is the subject, were falling. This is the verb. So this is correct. But, however, when you write, I want you always to separate between the prepositional phrase and the subject with a comma.
Yes.
This would have made it very clear. And in your, by the way, in your writing, in your IELTS writing, and I know very well when I say about IELTS assessment, for some reasons I cannot expose on social media and on public like this. When you write in IELTS, you have to add a comma in these situations. Clear? In the grove, comma, or the oranges were falling. The papers being delivered at 4 will contain the announcement of the president's resignation.
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
ليه يا اخوانا incorrect? Why incorrect?
Correct. It's correct.
Why incorrect? What made you say it is incorrect?
By removing they.
The papers
They.
are the subject, and
Yes.
the will is the verb.
Yes.
Being
No, I'm
delivered.
asking our colleagues, our friends who said incorrect. Tell me why made the confusion. What made you confused?
because we have being delivered.
being delivered.
ما هو being ده is what? Being is what? Is present participle.
Yes.
Okay. طيب the origin of the sentence was the papers which were delivered. خلاص. At 4 will contain I don't know what. كده الجملة صح؟ This is correct now. مش correct? Okay.
Yeah.
When we omit, when we reduce, when we make reduction, remember reduction, when we make reduction of this sentence, we will have to omit which and where. وقلنا هنحط بدل منهم we put instead of them what? Gerund. What is the gerund of where?
Being.
Being, correct. مش احنا قلنا لما اتكلمنا عن be من شوية قلنا دي أشكال be. These are the forms of be. Be can be is, are, am, was, were, be, been, being. The gerund of be is being.
Correct.
تمام؟ هقولها مرة أخرى. The sentence is the mail delivered. I'm sorry, being delivered. The mail which was delivered will be I don't know what. Okay. When we reduce this sentence, I have to omit which and omit was and put a gerund instead. Correct? So the gerund of was is being. The gerund of be is being delivered. Will be I don't know what.
Excuse me, doctor, but when the example that we في الexample اللي احنا قلناه قبل كده بتاع the TV purchased yesterday was expensive.
Yes. ماله؟
احنا ما حطيناش being هنا، احنا قلنا بس purchased، حطينا purchased اللي هو adjective. ما جبناش سيره being خالص في الموضوع. لو حضرتك قاعد فوق شويه.
هي حسب الايه؟ حسب it depends on the tense. يعني التنس ده simple past. خلاص؟ ممكن تقولها ايه؟ هو برضه سؤالك كويس. Which was being delivered. عشان ده ما كانش simple past. This is continuous past. Mail was being delivered. انت بتعمل ازاي how do we form passive of continuous past؟ وده برضه هناخد الباسيف برضه. هناخد الباسيف برضه في المستقبل. Continuous past. Like she was eating pizza. How do we make passive of this sentence? Pizza, huh? Was
eaten.
No. Was eaten, this is the passive of simple past. The passive of continuous past was being eaten.
It was being eaten.
Being. واحنا هنتكلم عن الباسيف. We will talk about passive later on. Okay? على فكرة, I would like to ask you to do something. I think we're going to finish this course in 3 weeks. Okay? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you all hear me?
Yes.
When we finish this course, the best thing to do is watch all the videos from the very beginning to the very last again, one more time. Now you'll have the complete picture in your mind, and so many questions that you might be having now. وأنا بقول لكم هنشرحها بعدين, we'll get to this later on. You will actually have these pictures in your mind, and you can have now a panoramic view of grammar. This course, after we finish this course, the best thing to do is watch the videos all over again one more time, just one more time, okay? And then everything will be very clearer to you, okay? Because yes, I understand that some things depend on other things to be, again, explained and so on. So, number 5 clear?
Yes, clear, yes.
Crystal.
Okay. Number 6, a specialty shop with various blends from around the world in the shopping mall. Correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
How can we make it correct?
We have to add verb somewhere.
We have to add a verb somewhere, correct? So a specialty shop with various blends from around the world will be open, for example, in the mall, correct?
Yes.
The portraits exhibited last month are now on display.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah, it's
with
correct.
sudden jerk of his hand through the ball. What do you think? What do you think? Hello?
I think it's correct.
Any more answers? Any more guesses? Hello?
I'm still thinking.
Wait, we need to.
I think it's incorrect
So
because there is no subject.
Incorrect. No
yes,
verb.
thank you very much. No subject. With a sudden jerk of his hand, this is what? A prepositional phrase. Okay? Through. This is a verb. Correct? So what is the subject? How can we make it correct?
He threw.
Thank you very much. With a sudden jerk of his hand, he threw the ball. Number 9, construction of the housing development, it will be underway.
Incorrect.
How can I make it correct?
Remove it.
Remove it. We have here two subjects. Those applicants returning their completed forms at the earliest date have the highest priority. What do you think?
Correct.
Correct. Subject, those applicants returning the complete forms. This is a present participle. At the earliest date, this is the prepositional phrase. Have, this is the verb. So this sentence is correct. Questions? Questions?
No, I don't have.
No,
We
go
have
ahead.
just 2 minutes left, and I don't want to give this as homework. I would like to do this with you guys. Can you take 1 minute to answer these 10 questions? I understand we're running out of time, but I would love to do these tests. These tests, only these tests. Take 1 minute. Okay, let's look at these questions together. The North Platte River from, I don't know, into Nebraska.
Flows.
B, flows.
Flows, thank you very much. B. Number, because we need here a verb, correct? Number 2, Biloxi received its name from.
The city of.
Thank you very much. The city of
The
Biloxi.
city of.
Thank you very much. Received its name, we have here the verb. Number 3, a pride of lions. Can you give me a minute? I need to answer a very important phone call. I'll be back in a second. I just need to pause recording. Okay, number 3, a pride of lions, up to 40 lions, including one of the 3 males. I don't know what. So a pride of lions is what? Is a subject. We need what here? A verb.
Verb.
So what verb can we add here?
Can contain.
But
Can
it must be
contain.
contained.
Can contain. لا ما هو contains ما تنفعش. Contain we cannot add contain. ليه? Because a pride of lions, this is a singular noun, and if we use it with simple present, we have to add an s to the verb. So it's contains.
Yes.
It should be contains, not contain. Okay. ومش لازم يعني يكون فيها up to 30 lions. هي can contain حتى في المعنى أدق. Number 4, tea plants are small and white. Are
The flower. The flowers of
the D.
the flowers. Thank you very much. The flowers. Thank you. Okay. The tetracyclines, I don't know what it is, and antibiotics. I'm sorry, antibiotics are used. We see the 2 commas here. Very important. So this is a positive, correct?
A family of.
Thank you very much. A family of. A family of. This is an appositive. We can see somebody here was saying we could add 2 commas in the beginning of the class, 2 commas with the reduction. Can we put here being a family? Is being a family a correct answer here? No.
No.
Why? Because with reductions we do not add 2 commas. مش كده؟
Yes.
حد كان سأل السؤال في أول الكلاس مش كده؟ Number 6, any possible academic assistance from taking stimulants? Marginal at best. Any possible academic assistance? This is the subject. From taking stimulus, this is a prepositional phrase. Marginal at best.
Is.
Is.
Thank you very much. Is. Henry Adams, born in Boston, famous as a historian. Became. Number 8, the major cause, the pull of the moon of the earth. The major cause, this is a subject. And do we have a verb here?
See.
Okay, the major cause of the tides in the ocean, the pull of the moon. Do we have a verb?
No.
So what can we make it to have a verb?
Number A.
Thank you very much.
Number A.
R? No, wait. The major cause. R? The major cause.
Is. Number B.
Number B.
Number B, yes.
Guys, do not be deceived with proximity. Do not be deceived with proximity. This is a very important trick here. If I say, for example, the student, or for example, say the decision of the people is or are, for example, useful.
Is
useful. But why do some people use are? Because of the people?
No,
عشان the people is close. This is called the proximity rule. Do not be deceived by the proximity, by the nearest noun. The nearest noun, no, this is not the subject. The subject is the decision, okay? So here, the major cause, this is the subject. What verb should it take? Is. Here.
Yes, clear.
Okay. Still a novelty in the late 19th century, limited to the reach. Yes.
I think it's C. It was photography limited.
Yes. Photography was no. D. Photography was limited. Photography is the subject. Was is the verb, and that's it. Still a novelty. This is what? This is an appositive. And then a positive. It's an appositive noun phrase in the beginning. وخلاص. Novelty means something new. Okay. So we need a subject and a verb. Okay. Clear? Number 10, a computerized map of the freeways using information embedded in the pavement.
Hearing.
A computer map. This is a subject of the freeways using information gathered by sensors embedded in the pavement on a local cable. We need here what? We need a verb.
A verb.
So what verb do we have? Airs. We need to add an S because this is a singular noun, and when the subject is singular, with simple present, we add an S. Airs on a local cable. A computer map airs on a local cable. Clear? A computerized map. This is the subject. Airs is the verb. And of the freeways, this is a prepositional clause. Using I don't know what. This is a present participle. Gathered by sensors. This is past participle. Embedded in the pavement. This is again past participle. All these stuff in the middle do not distract you. I don't want you to be distracted by of the freeways. Prepositional phrase. Using information. present participle, gathered by sensors, past participle, embedded in the pavement, past participle. All this shouldn't distract you. Be focused with the subject. The subject is a computerized map. Okay? What is the verb? Airs. Clear? Clear?
Yes, crystal clear.
Okay, that's it for today. Thank you very much. Again, stay home. Keep social
Stay safe.
distancing. Stay safe. Yeah. Yeah. Trying to. It's a big prison. And I will see you tomorrow, inshallah, at the same time. Be focused. And again, I will post the video on my YouTube channel in less than half an hour, inshallah. Thank you very much. And
Thank you so much.
see you tomorrow, inshallah. Salam
Thank
alaikum.
you.
Alaikum salam. Bye bye.
Salam.